So Glendive is going to be too close. Yep, 59 miles. Back to Lewiston is 182. There's nothing in between those two. That's really annoying. All the way back to Great Falls. There's nothing to Havre. That's awkward. So in which case, is there anything to... Okay, so there's one to Sydney or Glasgow there. And if I just take those, it's not far. I can speed as much as I like, which is nice. And then the delivery from there, if I manage to get something from there to Glasgow or Havre or Lewiston at that point, then that'll be my 2. And that'll be all I need to do.
Get on with it.
So we'll do that. I don't think there's too much else to explore from this town. It's actually from here that I'd be picking it up too, looks like, which is handy. I've just got to report in basically and say, yes, I want to pick up the trailer that I probably just passed while I drove out of your facility.
Let's do this.
So it should be just the one that I passed back here, looks like. Oh, was it the one that was parked? Yeah, it was the one that was parked that I was having to drive past. That's hilarious.
Drive safe.
So it's like 5 minutes up the road, pretty much. So this should be quick.
Turn left.
And we don't need services, we don't need fuel. We're good to go on all of our amenities.
Keep left and then turn left.
Looks like it's gonna be freeway the whole way, which means we're gonna be going fast. And this will take like, yeah, definitely less than 5 minutes. Even speedrun strat this and go up the off-ramp here to get a better turn onto the motorway. Sure, why not?
Take the second exit.
Second exit? Yeah, nah, we're gonna take this one. Immediately regret our life choices. No, not quite. We've got to squeeze past.
Finding new route.
And that is how you get a cleaner motorway on-ramp for when you're trying to go fast. And then we get the inside line on this corner as well. Amazing.
Okay, let's finding new route.
Then we just need to bounce across here between some of these dividers. Perfect. And now we're back on the main road. Back on the correct side. I mean, for all I know, I want to be on the other side anyway for where to get off at the other end. Not sure what the top speed of this truck is, actually, with its engine and gearbox combination. But it's certainly more than the 65 that we have been doing. It is only a 12 speed. I suspect the high ratio is not good, or it has too much of a diff multiplier to be good. I mean, we're also pulling a trailer, but it's not a heavy trailer. That's the Yellowstone River again. Getting bigger. Does that feed into the Mississippi or something, I wonder? Or does it go towards one of the Great Lakes, maybe? Yeah, looks like I might actually want to be on the left-hand side up here for coming off this road. Here's Glendive, which once again I've annoyingly discovered without actually entering, or without doing any deliveries to.
Rerouting. Never mind.
Should really be in the cab when I'm doing this, because it's much easier to figure out what I'm doing.
Okay, let's find a
Okay,
new
so I could have
route.
actually stayed on that side
Recomputing.
right up to this point
Rerouting.
and then just zipped straight across, because then I would have had the better line through that corner back there. That's fine.
Keep right, and then exit right. Okay, recomputing. Rerouting.
Into the cab we go now. Gonna brake quite hard for that
Right.
corner because it's a very tight one. So I'm really hoping to get a delivery from here to preferably Avra, because it's past Glasgow, which I've also not discovered. So I could technically discover both, even if I don't
Get ready
visit
to turn
both.
right.
Like, the discovering a city without actually doing a delivery or anything to it is annoying, but it's only really relevant for the sake of the community event. And I don't need to deliver to every city for that event. I only need to do 12 out of 15. So, Lewiston, whatever it was that I just passed, can't even remember now, and Glasgow, for example. Those three I cannot deliver to and it won't matter. But if I discover them all, then that'll count for the achievement of discovering all the cities, which is nice. Means I won't have to revisit them for that.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Exit now. Go straight.
How far up does my cruise control go? It's like cruise control taps out at 90 on this,
Continue
maybe?
straight.
Or that's just as high up as the speedo goes. I'm not sure.
Go straight.
Well, we've discovered Sydney now. Oh, he was changing lanes as I was
Right.
driving past, because of
Then
course.
continue straight.
Yay, AI drivers.
Keep right, and then continue straight. Keep right, and then turn right.
This is very much an express delivery.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right, and then turn right.
Okay, fun's over. Time to stop.
Turn right. Get ready to turn left. Turn left. It's all over now.
Where are you gonna have me go? Oh, I have to go all the way around there. Okay, so I'm guessing the play is to, once again, try and reverse it around. I can actually drive out this bit here and use this to help turn around, so that's handy. So then we've got a very skinny bit here to back through. It's the sort of thing that in real life you would get out. Chances are you'd like park up, get out, drive over, or walk over to see where it is that you're having to put it, so you have an understanding of it. And I can do this. Okay. So we've got to get it past that other trailer. It's the wrong angle. To go going to squeeze past this other trailer and then go in on an angle to get to this parking bay. This is a really poorly designed place. Thankfully, sometimes I know what I'm doing. There we go. Excellent. So, still haven't counted any further, but if we now go from here and take an external contract, well, that's not going to do it. That's also not going to do it. Lewiston. Okay, that will do it. Lewiston, or I would have liked Havre, but we can take Lewiston. We can also just try refreshing a few times and see if we get something better. No, Lewiston it's going to have to be, looks like. And then we can worry about I mean, to be fair, to get to Lewiston, we can go through Glasgow. We can even go through Havre. Again, the advantage of an external contract is we don't have to worry about the real time it takes, or not real, the in-game time it takes, sorry, in order to make a delivery. Oh, we didn't actually accept it, did we? Oops. Let's actually accept it. If it's still there. Lewiston. Begin delivery.
You've got the contract, now go.
So first we've just got to get out of here. But we can cut some corners to do that.
Turn left, and then turn left. Turn left.
So we'll go pick up the trailer, and then we will take a look. There's nothing else to explore in Sydney specifically, is there? I don't see any indications of viewpoints or anything like that. I don't remember seeing any notifications of such as I drove through in the first place either to warn me of that they had been discovered. So I'm going to pick this up, and then we're going to play with our GPS and make the delivery go much longer.
Turn left. Turn right. Finally, we are here.
Alright, let's pick you up.
Pedal to the metal, man.
Now, instead of going the way that it wants me to, I believe I want to go a different way. Yeah. Down this way? Again? No. Boring. Oh, there's a viewpoint there. That's annoying. I mean, I haven't taken this road, actually, so I could go this way and then here. That works. Then I discover Glasgow. There's no viewpoints between there. That's probably just a recruitment centre, not a viewpoint. But it would tick Havre off the list. The other viewpoint's all the way up there. But I don't really want to then drive down there into here, so I think we'll... I mean, that's actually perfect, because we were wanting to save that viewpoint. So we'll do that, I think, and then another thing to do from there will be to take a delivery from Lewiston to Havre, perhaps, going up that direction. And then we want to head through to Kalispell again to pick up that viewpoint. And I think that's probably all of them. Oh no, there's some down here that are ages away from anywhere we've been, so that's why we haven't seen them yet. Is there any down here? No. That's just a truck dealer, not a viewpoint. We've been to a viewpoint there. Okay. So we'll retrace our steps a little bit, but then we'll take a bit of a different way through here. There's no real need to take this road just at the moment, and it looks less interesting anyway because it is a shield road, so it's practically an A road anyway.
Let's go.
We want the ones that are much more interesting.
Turn right, and then keep right.
We can try and remember to come back and do a little bit more. I'm sure there are other achievements associated with Montana that I've not investigated.
Keep right.
I know there are the normal ones of discovering every city and visiting every viewpoint.
Keep right. And then
Beyond that,
straight.
I haven't actually checked to see what there is. There's probably some that would have been easier to do as I drove around in the first place, but there's often ones to do with deliveries to from specific industries, maybe visiting specific places. Where are you wanting me to pull in? You're wanting me to go round the roundabout,
Take this
over to the
second exit.
left. Yeah, no,
Exit
I'm
now.
not feeling it. I'm sorry. Again, I don't mind pulling in for the way station things as a sort of realism nod. I have fines turned off so I don't get any infringement for it. But I don't mind pulling in when it's on the side of the road. At least that one has a roundabout going to it, so it's less irresponsible than the other one that I passed earlier. I passed one before that was just on a crossroads in the middle of nowhere. It's like, that's just silly. Just making trucks turn across traffic for the sake of that, instead of just being able to pull off to the side safely and easily. Yeah, not ideal. I'm not encouraging that sort of behaviour. Oh, I don't want to encourage that sort of behaviour either, just randomly changing lanes. Unfortunately now we're back stuck to only doing 65 because external contracts, but we had a fun blat up here at least.
Get ready to turn right. Finding new routes.
Getting a few random frame drops here and there when it loads up city areas, I think.
Rebooting. Turn right.
Oh hey, we can go up this way the way we're supposed to instead of coming down the on-ramp. Boring. Circle half a mile. What?
Keep right. Then exit right. Exit right.
Apparently this is the way to circle. So, okay.
Turn right.
Traffic. Gross. There's no one coming. Just go. I know it's a stop sign. I treat stop signs like giveaways in this game. I don't usually stop. You can clearly see that nothing is coming, then... $200S apparently is this road. Interesting. Wonder what the significance of that is. Oops. Scenic bird. Not a very scenic trailer, unfortunately. It's just a container, but the truck's nice. So certainly extended the time it'll take to do this delivery a little bit. We doubled it or something. So we're going most of the way to Lewiston and then just veering off suddenly. Oh well.
Go straight.
It's kind of a consideration in some ways of should I actually just keep going, do the delivery properly, and then we can always look to go from Lewiston to Glasgow instead. And then work our way around from there instead. But there's also no hurry in finishing. You know, I don't need to just do it. Have the luxury of extending it out.
Go straight.
Here's circle. Yeah, entering circle. There's a dinosaur over there. Not quite sure what's so circle about it, but yeah, there's a few dinosaurs. Must be what it's known for, I guess. Well, we don't get any option to go anywhere off the main road to explore anything here, so just passing through. Do actually need gas at some point. That might be useful about Glasgow, as we might actually pull in there slightly.
Turn right.
We're only going past the left-hand side of the city, but we might actually pull in to go to the gas station. I think there's there.
Right.
If there isn't, then we're kind of screwed. That's one thing you can't just turn off, like fatigue. You find yourself caught short. Going to be getting pretty close to the Canadian border, to be honest, going up this way. Would kind of like it if they just surprised everyone and just announced after the next DLC, it's like, oh, we're going to do British Columbia. Because, I mean, it's still America. Nothing says that this is United States Truck Simulator, this is American Truck Simulator. Canada's part of America. Part of North America. Really nice to have like British Columbia and maybe as far as Calgary or something. I don't think anyone really cares about driving from Edmonton and Calgary all the way across to Winnipeg, but I mean, I guess there's no harm in just putting in a big long straight road. That was one of the cool things about it, was the 18 Wheels of Steel American Long Haul. That one you could do from like Vancouver or Seattle or whatever, cross the border, go up to like sort of Winnipeg, or I think Thunder Bay was on the coast of one of the Great Lakes. That would be cool if you could kind of go around Lake Superior. It'd be kind of cool. I think it's Superior, isn't it? New viewpoint. Let's see what this is about. Given that we're just in the middle of nowhere, this looks like a big dam. Stop the engine. Activate viewpoint. Hey, my GG. Second time you catch a stream in a month. Second time I'm actually streaming in a month, which is amazing enough. Fort Peck Spillway. Okay. Flood control, I'm guessing. It's like irrigation dam or something. Interesting. Slap a hydroelectric power station in there, surely. Maybe that's what that is. That... I think that's probably what that is. Yep. Right, so it'll be diverting some water off into the power station. Interesting choice of a lilac building. I think that might just be a weird lighting artifact that I get sometimes. Not sure. The water animations look a little bit jerky, but we'll forgive them. And that should probably be the end of it. Yep. Nice. And off we go. That's a big lake. It's a lake Peck. Interesting. You know what? I think it's screenshot time. Photo studio. Wouldn't expect a low pink building in real life. No. I get that sometimes just with even just median barriers and stuff, they'll just take on a bit of a pink hue, which is, yeah, not what you'd expect at all. We go like this, how far? I'm about as high an elevation as I can go, apparently. Or we can increase the field of view. That helps. Have the truck at the bottom. See, they have the blur effect, but it doesn't apply to the clouds. Because the clouds are a different render layer or something, so... Let's just get rid of the blur. So that way it looks like it's all nicely in focus. There we go. Daytime and weather. I mean, it's nice at midday, but would it look nicer at dawn, maybe? We can get the sunrise. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Fortunately, it's not very granular in terms of being able to select. I don't think I can use like the... Well, I can use the arrow keys. There we go. See, this is why you try things. Taking a bit of the brightness out of it also helps to kind of mask some of the defects. We can probably drop the saturation down a bit too. Actually, no. No, I think it works better. Disguise a 3D photo in high res or something. Basically, I think that's what they use. But I mean, the clouds even move and everything. It is very cool. I don't know what exactly they do about it. I've not really put much thought into it. I just know that I like it. Somewhere around there looks good. Yeah, that's why the blue won't work exactly. It's a completely different render layer. There we go. I just don't like the blur effect they put in by default anyway. Like, I get it to an extent, but if I was taking a landscape photo, I would be taking it with a... now, is it narrow or is it wide aperture? I can never remember which way around it is, but with the aperture set, that it would basically be like an infinite focus, so to speak. You want a nice wide focus is the point. You don't want a narrow focus for a landscape shot. That's just for portraits and stuff. Or macro. Image rotates. Ah, to simulate movement. Clever. Yes, you might be right. Yeah, because I don't think you... Well, you probably can look straight up. I mean, not much point in the truck. Yeah, I guess you probably can't really look straight up to see if there's a sort of a nexus or something above you. You might just rotate around a particular point oriented on your position. If it was directly above you, that would be too noticeable. It would make more sense to be just an offset. But yeah, that's a clever way of simulating movement. Maybe that's just what the sky is. Have you thought about that? It's all a simulation. Glasgow discovered. Now, is there a gas station here? Asking the important questions. Is there a gas station here? Only way off to the right. That's a tad awkward. Because I think I need to stop the gas. Oh, there's one just coming into view on the left. Okay. We should be able to get there. That's just after the point that we were going to head south. We can just go there first and then head south. That works. Nice mural. Proud railway town, looks like.
Go straight.
How big the sky images are storage-wise? I'm not sure, but it's worth it.
Turn left.
Yeah, if it's something you're only using, you know, you don't need many of them, I guess. Compared to just the textures in general for rocks and roads and everything like that. Like, it would be a pretty big image, I'm sure, but so you only need it once at least, and it just lives in RAM, right? It just lives in memory. You've got plenty of gigs available for that. And I assume, like, I have the weather quality turned to ultra because it's one of the things I would definitely notice and prefer. Ooh, that's cool. Definitely prefer to have high res, so I have that one turned way up. But if you drop it down, then I'm sure it still looks fine. It probably just looks like what it used to. Gonna guess there's an Air Force base around here or something. I'm sure the sky never used to look that nice. I feel that that might have been something they also brought in with the lighting changes. I think they might have increased the fidelity of the Skybox.
Go straight.
It was basically just like a modernization effort across the board. I was looking through screenshots that I'd taken yesterday, then comparing them to ones from way ages ago, like 2017 or something, which would have been just a year after this came out. And the differences are noticeable. Like, it's always been a really nice game, really pretty game, but it's so much different now. Hey, Mr. Smarty, welcome. Following speed limits. I'm forced to, because this is an external contract. I'm limited to 65. The delivery I did before this was not. I was not following the speed limit for that. Every DLC they do a community event where there is a personal and community goal that you can take part in. The personal goal is to do 12 deliveries to unique cities, 12 out of the 15 that are in the map. Community goal is something like 100 million miles driven. Sounds like a lot. It usually gets blown away within like a week or two because there's a lot of passionate people playing the game. And the personal goal is, yeah, I'm about to complete it with this delivery. But you have to use the external contracts because they're the ones through the World of Trucks site. That's the only way they can actually track it and then tie it to your achievements and stuff like that. You know, they have to have a way that they can actually measure it on your profile. So that's how they do that. But all of the external contracts are limited to 65 miles an hour. You have a mandatory truck limiter.
Let's find a new
Which is really
route.
annoying when the speed limit is higher than that and you're limited to going 65. It'd be nice if it was tied to the road that you were driving on and you weren't allowed to speed, but if the speed limit was 80, that you'd be allowed to go 80.
Please make a U-turn when possible. Never mind. I'll find a new route.
It's fine. I mean, in a new state like this, I'm wanting to enjoy the scenery anyway. So, being the blue car just past his semi, he's coming east ready and the last minute pulls back into his lane. Well, at least I didn't hit him. Don't remember the sky being that nice on ETS2, maybe you should look up a bit more. Well, also for speedrunning you often turn the settings down, right, to get smoother performance, so unless you've got the weather quality at either high or ultra, it probably doesn't look as nice. So, it's a case of just every now and then just turning it all up, enjoying it. You can just turn the graphics settings all up, take some screenshots, and then turn it all down again to keep playing. I've done that in other games, like when I was playing Icarus, which I want to play more of, but don't have time. When I was playing that, I had to turn a lot of the settings down because otherwise my computer wanted to explode. But you can kind of crank everything up, everything that doesn't require a restart anyway, crank it all up, take a screenshot, then turn it all down again so that you can get the frames. Because if you're taking screenshots, you don't care about frame rate. And now it looks like the clouds have all gone away anyway. I didn't even notice that happening. But at some point the clouds disappeared and I didn't notice it. Which, I mean, is a good thing that I didn't notice it. Yeah, I'm really happy that they do the community events as kind of an incentive to play the new content. And it means you can discover most of the new stuff. It's quite interesting though then looking at the Steam achievements of the new DLCs. They tend to be really low in the percentages of people who actually achieve them. Which is kind of odd. Especially when they are tied to those events, and like I say, the community goals always get it blown away. So people are clearly playing the game a lot still. And doing qualifying deliveries. But, yeah, it seems not going to every place and getting all the achievements. It's kind of odd. Surprised it's always had pretty good frame rate even with higher details. Yeah. Get the game to those, you can bump the traffic up here. Aren't enough traffic in the base game? I disagree because I hate traffic. You're not wrong in that the traffic is not realistic. And I've seen some people complaining about that. Why would you want more traffic? This is meant to be a relaxing game. I get frustrated when I have to wait more than a few seconds at traffic lights. I don't want to have to wait even longer because there's like 10 cars in the queue instead of 3. I can get pissed off enough with real traffic in real life. I don't even drive, I'm just a passenger. I don't want to have to deal with it in a game. I wouldn't want to turn it off, but the density that it is on feels pretty good. I mean, if there was a slider that you could crank it up, then, you know, that'd be good, because then people could increase it without mods if they wanted to. If they really wanted the full-on congestion experience, then they could. Or if they wanted to turn it all the way down and have the full-on Mad Max post-apocalyptic no-traffic experience, then they could. I mean, it would make a lot of us very happy if there was a just traffic slider that you could just turn it off entirely without using a development console, and then we could do that for speedruns. Instead of just cheesing it with IGT forcing a graphics reload. Some people aren't getting all achievements. Oh yeah, I definitely understand not everyone is buying the new expansions. It's just the correlation between, say, the community goals of driving however many miles, 100 million miles or whatever, they always get met very quickly. It's, quite absurd. So, like, clearly there are a lot of people still playing the game. But I guess, in terms of percentage numbers of those who actively still play the game, I mean, I was looking up at the player numbers actually at one point. According to Steam, the Steam DB or whatever, or database or whatever it's called, the player numbers of ETS 2 are like 15 to 20k regularly, and for ATS it's like 5 or 6,000 regularly, and that's actually quite a lot when you consider the style of games that they are. I can't remember which ones I was comparing it to, but they were a lot higher than some other games that I was looking at, but I can't remember which ones I was comparing them to now. But that's still a pretty healthy active player base. I mean, that doesn't count the DLCs, that might just be people playing the base game. So personally, I don't consider it like forking out X dollars or whatever. To me, the DLCs are very cheap for what they deliver to me. Like, I've gotten however many hours already out of playing 16 New Zealand dollars worth of content. Like, I do not have a problem with that in the slightest. If I played it for an hour, I would feel I had my money's worth. I mean, I'd be disappointed that I only got an hour out of it, don't get me wrong, but I feel if you enjoy playing this game and enjoy the aspect of just driving new places and seeing new things, then buying the DLCs is pretty much a no-brainer. I don't know why you would play this game and not buy the DLCs, like the map expansion DLCs, not all the cosmetic ones, but the map ones. Like, they come out, what was it, 1 or 2 a year? And, it's not like it's one every month, no, it's not like you're then feeling like you have to pay $10 a month or something. They're slowly and smoothly faded the clouds. Nice. Yeah, they just transition between them. And how they manage their resources, well, they just load the second one into memory and then just apply an opacity between the two images, I imagine. Just gradually phase through the opacity. Start at 100 on one and just gradually go through to 100 on the other. You just have them both loaded simultaneously.
Go straight.
Yeah, when you consider the amount of money that some people will pour into just mobile games for a start, let alone like subscription games. I used to play World of Warcraft. I paid, $12, $15, whatever it was, a month just to play that. And I didn't mind doing so because I got hundreds of hours, certainly dozens every month, out of doing so, which to me was fine entertainment value. It was my primary game that I played. So I have no problem whatsoever in doing that.
Then continue straight.
I mean, the sorts of people who, if you just pop out to a bar or something once a week, you'll spend more than that on just a couple of drinks for very short-term enjoyment versus the same amount of money over an entire year to get hours of ongoing enjoyment. So don't need mods, you need to go to Steam, go to local files, go into the game's code. Yeah, see, if you're going into the game code, you are modifying the game. It isn't a mod, but mods is what most people would prefer to use because it would be, like, safer for people who are not comfortable with digging around in the game code. Also means that then it's not going to get affected by updates, because anything like that could get reset. Sometimes it'll just be a case of you go into the settings files and it'll just have certain if it isn't a slider, if it isn't an option that you can change yourself, then you're going to likely have it overwritten by new changes every time you save the settings file. So it's pretty volatile to do things like that. Every skies are preloaded. They'll only load which one they know they're going to queue up next. Cruising Montana, personal goal completed. The community goal, yeah, is to drive 100 million miles. And then when you complete personal goal, you get a Montana Grizzly themed ATS truck paint job Steam inventory item. Now, I'm not sure if you have to have whether or not the community goal also needs to be met to get the personal goal. Not entirely sure. I mean, there's one way to find out. If I go to... I don't know if this will show up for you guys. It probably won't. No, this isn't going to work on the Steam, like, in-game browser. I'm going to have to actually go to that separately to redeem it. I also need to go to a services before I can actually change anything, but we remove the TC, no AI run, you think about running it? Yeah, but that's the thing, is you run it because it's a novelty, right? Because you've done the other category anyway, so it's like, oh, it's there, I may as well. But that's not a great thing, and so it's... The only submissions that came in for it were not good runs anyway, so... And with the graphics reload thing we figured out with, you know, just tweak the vegetation quality or something and it reloads and it despawns the traffic immediately around you. You can simulate a no AI anyway if you really need to in a pinch. But it takes a lot of the interest out of it, for me anyway. Again, if they add an option as a traffic slider, then it would be perfectly legitimate and almost inevitable that you would just turn the traffic off and you would run like that. Because it would be a lot less aggravating. But until it becomes an actual supported game option, I will not be verifying additional runs on that. See the Steam achievements and new DLC about a week before release? Yeah. Yep, normally they have them there. Sometimes they won't have the details filled in, like they won't have the description. It might just be the title. But yeah, the V145 update that came out in advance of it probably added them in there, but I just didn't look at them. I need to take a look and see what the other ones are, actually. I think we've got just the one more viewpoint now, hopefully. Problem is when I Alt-Tab to look at anything, then... don't know what's going on there. Can construct dramas about the pedestrians that we see. American Truck Simulator, the series. The movie. This summer. He was a trucker. She was a small-town girl with big ideas. Together, they set off on an unforgettable journey. Don't have one Tony yet. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you know, I was talking about how I believe them to be really good value for money. Obviously, that's subjective, and yeah, if you don't have the money to spare, then you don't go out of your way to get it. You know, you add it to your wish list if you want it, and then 6 months' time it'll be on sale anyway. Usually they'll only be about 30% off for a year or so afterwards, but once there's been another couple of DLCs released, then they steeply discount them. Like, most of them in the latest sale were 70% off for the older DLCs. Like for ETS2, I think Iberia was 30% off, but everything else was 70% off.